In 1066, William the Conqueror invaded England from the Duchy of Normandy, and this successful invasion led to the start of the modern-day United Kingdom. After being crowned the new King of England, a small piece of land that used to reside as a part of Normandy would now be passed on to the English crown, a small group of islands known as the Channel Islands. Because of this, even today, almost 1,000 years later, the Channel Islands remain as a crown dependency of the United Kingdom and out of French rule. Because of this connection the islands have to the UK, over 30 flights a day connect these small islands to the mainland with no scheduled all year round service to any other nation. The air connection these islands have is so strong that 2 airlines currently operate from these islands. Orkney, based in Guernsey, fly a fleet of 2 Dornier 228s, 3 ATR 72s and 1 Embraer 195, while Blue Islands, based in Jersey, operate 5 ATR 72s. You would think for a group of islands with a population of just 160,000 people, 2 airlines would be enough, or even too much in some cases. But in today's video, I will be taking an exclusive look at Air Alderney, the 3rd airline which will be serving the people of this small group of islands. So with that, I want to welcome you to Leon Solent Airport on the south coast of England. Air Alderney won't be flying commercially here, but have flown one of their Islander aircraft here for some promotional flights around the local area. They've chosen Leon Solent because it's at this airfield where these Islanders are actually built, and today we'll also be taking a tour of the Britten Hangars to have a look at some of the aircraft that are currently being worked on. We started off in Hangar 5 with this aircraft, Alpha Sierra 9819, a Maltese Air Force BN2B Defender, which was in for maintenance checks before heading back out to Malta. This is the only Islander the Maltese Air Force operate, and it's currently used for maritime patrol missions. Next up, just sitting outside, we have this aircraft, which is Golf Whiskey Papa November Sierra. It was built in 1996 and was primarily used by the Greater Manchester Police until 2015 and is now owned by Britten as a testbed aircraft. It's a BN2B-4S, which is a slightly longer variant and is currently being used to test pilotless flight. And yes, you heard me right. It's not a drone, as it won't be operated from the ground, but instead it will use a mixture of artificial intelligence as well as pre-programmed flight paths to fly without any human intervention, which is pretty scary if you think about it. I don't know how far off this technology is, but a bit like driverless cars, it kind of sucks the fun out of flying in my opinion. Then going from cutting edge technology to this, we have one of Orkney's old BN2A Trilanders. These are no longer being produced by Britten, and this one, Golf Romeo Lima Oscar November, was built back in 1991 and served the airport on the island of Alderney before being replaced by the Dornier 228s in 2015. Then inside Hangar 6, another 2 Islanders were being heavily overhauled. Both of these aircraft are bound for the Seychelles, but a lot of work is needed before these are in flying condition. They were at a great stage in their work that allowed us to take a look at parts of the aircraft that are usually hidden. As I mentioned before, not only do they maintain Islanders here, but they also produce them. It's not many. On average, a new Islander rolls off the production line here every 10 weeks, which equates to about 5 a year. But for a facility of this size, and considering their main job is maintaining current Islanders, you know, it's no Everett, but it's not bad. After taking a look through the hangars, I then headed round to Leon Solent's main building, where I then had the opportunity to fly on one of Air Alderney's 2 Islanders. Air Alderney were founded in January of 2017 and were scheduled to start service in 2020. I don't think I really need to explain what happened next. The pandemic happened, and of course that was delayed until 2022. They plan to commercially base their aircraft at Alderney with a maintenance base at Biggin Hill and fly their aircraft to Guernsey, Jersey, Brighton and Lydd. One thing I noticed that was pretty cool was this Yak 3 replica built in 1995, which was sportingly wearing the Ukrainian colours on the tail. But shortly after that, the 7 passengers on today's flight began boarding, and not before long we taxied out to runway 23. After flying over the Isle of Wight, we then flew over Portsmouth, where we got some pretty good views over the HMS Prince of Wales aircraft carrier, as well as this Type 45 destroyer. As well as that, anchored away from dock next to civilian vessels was this Type 23 Duke class frigate. After landing, we taxied past this Cessna, which had just made an emergency landing in the grass earlier that day, and then we continued back to the parking stand. Before I finish, I do want to just say a big thank you to Jon Siva, who works at Britten for inviting me along to the event at Leon Solent. I will link his Instagram in the description below, and with that, I want to thank you very much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.